All
Hello,
right.
everyone, and welcome to the writers class. Okay, I almost forgot how to introduce this entire show, but when you get four podcasts, you're allowed to do that. And yeah, don't look at the missing nails, by the way. So we have. Oh, I should introduce the podcast. Oh, new thing. Uh, that's the Anti Thought podcast. Meet Hollywood Monday. Uh, the Meet Hollywood Monday. Author Reality. The Ladies Tale podcast and the writers class. Woo! That's five. That's all five of them. Yeah. So anyway, you can see all of those. You can listen to all of those on Spreaker. I'm gonna jump ahead and not even do the funny thing, and so I'm gonna completely ignore that I have two buns on the side of my head, and I normally have straight hair. We're going to completely ignore that. Just pay attention to the bow because I always have a bow. So pay attention to the bow and the headband because this is normal Winona. I wrote books and I already introduced myself. You didn't catch it, then I'm sorry for you. There, and I thought divorce was bad. If only I were mere memoir in verse. And I thought being grown up was easy. Widow's Web, Widow's Debt, and Foreign Coffee. That is 6 of the 17 more books that we have written. So that's 23 in total. And you can see them at www.andithoughtLadies.com. And if you think I'm going fast today, it's because I have a meeting for college. And yeah, y'all know I'm trying to go to school. Sorry. I'm trying to be smart. And I apologized for it.
Smarter.
Woo! But I'm already smart. So I think that's my narcissist statement for the day. So you don't need to know more about me. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. I could do a whole show on me. You need to know about our special guest. Special guest, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is author Candi Usher. Just like Winona, the girl is also being smarter. I am a mom of three. As you can see, I'm an author. I am a long-standing evangelist and minister. I have written 13 going on 14 books. I am almost done with my 14th book. I have written 4 series so far. Um, I am a current PhD student in clinical psychology. I have an associate's in IT. I have a bachelor's in psychology with a concentration in mental health counseling. I just got my certification in mentoring, so I'm doing that. I am also working on as a assistant for Vacation Bible School. I love cooking, going to aquarium, theme parks, walking around in botanical gardens. I'm an all
Mm.
around kind of person. I'm a tomboy. I'm just me. That's about
I was about to say,
it.
botanical gardens and tomboy do not go together, dear.
But they are, because I'm a girly girl, but then I'm not. That
Okay,
makes sense.
if you
I'm
say
on two different
so.
sides of the spectrum.
So
Good
she
in the
really what
middle.
she's saying is she could beat your tail in a dress.
That part. I love motorcycles. I love cars.
Yeah. Favorite
I
car.
love anime and K dramas.
Ooh. Okay, favorite car, and then I need to know about anime.
Camara.
Mine is the 1934 Bugatti, but there's only three of them in existence, so it doesn't really count. So,
See, my favorite one is the 1964 Mustang.
and I was like,
Baby blue.
and for ownership, that's exactly what I would want, a 1940 64 baby blue convertible Mustang. I have been
Yes.
looking and
Has to
looking
be
and
convertible.
looking.
Yes, sis, it has to be if it's not the convertible, I
It's
don't
not
know.
worth it. Now, if I had a Shelby, it would be better, and I ain't got to be convertible. That shit's
Ooh,
power.
ooh. But then on top of that, I want the
Get out
very
my.
first Porsche. Because see, I have an affinity for fast vehicles and sports cars. That's why I said the Camaro is my favoriteest of all times. And then if it has to be a motorcycle, it has to be a Ninja at all times in purple.
I'm not a motorcycle girl. I
I
don't believe
am.
it. I don't believe in organ donating. Donating.
Anything about donating an organ.
I don't know. That's what they call them in the ER.
I know, but if you know how to ride,
I guess if you do it safely. Okay, but we're not
yes.
going to talk about cars. We were actually here to just at least mention what is your book that you've written and how did you get inspired?
My very first book was called Bondage. The name has changed to I'm Still Standing Here. It was based on my first marriage. And that's why it was called Bondage, because that's literally kind of what it was. um, and my newest book, Her Mother's Daughter, explains more as to why I was in that first marriage.
Mhm.
Dealing with the situation of my birther and what was going on with her at that point in time, dealing with her mental illness and the abuse that stemmed from that, led into me dealing with picking between how I was going to react to her or being with him. And I chose to be with him. I chose to run away from
Ah,
home and be with him
oh my goodness.
because
These
it was
books are
easier.
fascinating, and I'm not gonna lie, they feel a little soap opera. I feel like you should be writing you're the next behind the gates, but real life.
Well, that's what led to the series. It's a total of 5 books in all. That goes from I'm Still Standing Here to My Forever Angel to Delusional When I Lost My Mind in Love, Clipped Wings, and then to my newest one, Her Mother's Daughter. And it's a whole series called From the Soul, Books from Deep Within. That's the name of the whole series. So it's 5 total books that I've written so far. I say that it's not my story, it's our story, because these are 5 books that, even though they're about my life, they're relatable for everybody. I'm just telling it from my point of view, but these are
Wow.
parallel to everybody's lives.
I love how you were able to make I always tell authors what's the more important thing is to be able to make your memoir relatable to everyone. Now,
Mhm.
quickly, I'm switching gears. You have a podcast.
I don't have a podcast, but I've been on a lot of podcasts.
Oh my God. I thought I'm so sorry.
No,
I
it's okay.
swore it said
I've
you
thought
had.
about doing a podcast, but I've
So you're
never had
starting a
the
podcast.
I've thought about starting one, but I've never actually started one. Just never been my thing. I like to be on them. I like to do them. Just now I have gone live and I've like brought other people on my lives. I do that often. I do lives with other people because just sometimes when new authors come out there, I like to bring them up and kind of like introduce the people to them. You know what I'm saying? And just give them a chance to put themselves out there. And for a lot of people, that's giving them the opportunity for other podcasts to pick them up and kind of get their
Yes.
face out there.
What advice do you give to anyone that's starting to write a book like from scratch and they have no idea how to get started? What are the 3 top tips that you give them?
First one, put it on paper. Whether or not you have it gathered together, you have your thoughts in order, slap it on that paper first. Slap it on the computer first. Have your draft together. Then organize it. That's the second thing. Organize your thoughts the way you want them, the order you want them. Third, get you a good editor. Get you someone who you're going to trust to put it in the order that you want it to be. And somebody who's going to be honest with you. Because sometimes you'll have an editor who will say, okay, it looks all right, it looks good, but they're not going to be completely, totally honest with you. And sometimes you'll have an editor who's really, really expensive, and that's all they are. They're expensive. Stay away from a lot of time Fiverr, things like that. If somebody's coming after you wanting to market to you, don't run in their direction. Stay away from people like that. Because if they're marketing to you or they're offering you 90% of their services, most of the time, those are not the people you want to mess with. Find you someone who's got a good rating, who you can trust. You can find you an English teacher. You can find you an English student. A lot of times, go in groups. And I don't mean just any kind of group. I mean, find you like an author group who people recommend, a trusted author group. Find you a trusted author. A lot of times they'll have somebody who they have that edits for them for a good price. I'm a
Good.
part of several author groups who have good editors who are always offering that. They're really good at what they do and have really good prices. Those are the people that you want to have your back end editing.
So, okay. You have also sold a decent amount of books and
Yeah.
you had a book signing.
Yeah.
So, how did you get your first book signing? How are you going about selling these books?
Selling the books has just been a trial and error type of thing. I've uploaded them where I upload them across different platforms. I did a lot of self discovery. One of my biggest things was I wanted to work for myself. I come from a very entrepreneur based family. My mom and my dad both own their own businesses. My brother has his own marketing business. So I always knew I wanted to work for myself. That was one big thing for me. So indie author was big. I started off in poetry at 6 years old. I've been writing since I was 6. So poetry was where my start was. When we had poetry.com growing up, that's where I started. I won my first poetry contest at 10. So I would, and it was surprising. I got $150 check in the mail at 10 years old. So I always had
Not
that
fair. You
entrepreneur.
made more than me because I got published at 10. It was highlights, but you made more than me.
See, that was my first. So that was my first publishing. It was in the. My dad actually bought the big poetry book, and he had my first one. So that for me was huge. I've been
Yeah.
published in the newspaper. So those were things I was encouraged to do. I grew up doing. That was pushed for me to always do stuff like that. And then I went from there. So I've always wanted to do, like I said, for myself. Um, my first one last year was being invited to an event. Didn't go so great because I wasn't told what to do. I was kind of pushed out on my own. I wasn't told, hey, get a banner. I wasn't told, hey, you should have your table set up this way. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of one of those, get out there, you're on your own. When I went to my second one, it was an invite to New Orleans. Well, for the Black Ink Book Festival, which was a surprising one. I was supposed to go do my residency in Minnesota, and I was going to go do that. But when I got the invite, I prayed about it, and I felt this unction to go. So I talked to my dad and I talked to my spiritual family, and they were like, no, cancel the residency, go to this festival. We're telling you right now, you go to this festival, it's going to open other doors for you. So I canceled the residency. I was like, you know what? I'll go to the next residency. Let me go to this Black Ink book. Girl, New Orleans was everything and then some. I got to meet so many other authors. I got to meet 4 women in person that I had only met online. I made so many other friends out of the authors. It was my first big event. I was nervous and freaking out. Got off on an exit, God opened the door literally in the bathroom that I was talking to. She prayed with me. She didn't have to, but she prayed with me, which calmed me before I got there. I got to introduce my babies to an event. My middle one, who's my photographer now, he got to photograph his first event. They got to experience New Orleans. My oldest got a boudin ball. My youngest got to be in shock and awe because they did the little parade thing coming through with the mask and everything like that. So they got to experience. It was an experience for all of us, which led to me doing the book signing last week, well, week before last now, for my birthday back home in Georgia. Back in Georgia now. I can't even say home because it's not even home no more, but back in Georgia for my birthday. I was bold enough to do that. You know, did that, had that book signing, which allowed me to my books became a part of a retreat. She used my book for a mental health thing for a retreat. So then that opened that door. One of my customers came in, he had already bought books for me. He turned around and bought 2 of every book. Now I have one next weekend where I'm going to be a speaker for the first time. I have a speaking slot, not just an author table. So God just opened 3 different doors for my obedience for one door.
Amen. So, can you tell people where to find your books and where to, more importantly, buy the books?
Every platform, Lulu, Amazon, Hoopla, Barnes and Nobles, Walmart. If you just type in my name, author Candi Usher, wherever there are books, you'll find me. I'm working on getting in Target. I am working on getting my books in a physical location right now. Me and Ingram Spark are having the biggest argument right now over the cover of my book. But if I can get the cover together, they will be in a physical form and that's going to be my next book signing. So those are the book signing I'm working on next is Barnes and Nobles and Books a Million. So keep me in prayer, you guys, because if I can get that, that's the next level that God is pushing me toward. I'm working on this PhD at the same time, grinding it out. They say it takes up to 5 years, but the girl is trying to do it in 3.5 years.
All right. So we got a lot of work to do. We got a lot of books to buy to make sure she can afford school.
Oh, and
And
www.misscandygirl.com. That's my
there you
website.
go. Go check her out at www.misscandygirl.com. Also, I'm going to wrap it up for us over here. I'm Winona. I'm one of the And I Thought ladies. And you can find out everything that your ladies are doing on www.andithoughladies.com. While you're there, go down to the bottom of the page and see the charities that we proudly support. You do not have to give them monetary support. Sometimes they got knowledge that they need, or you can get your hands dirty and go out there and build something to help somebody in person. If you can, we thank you in advance for that. Remember that wisdom is all around you if you're open to finding it and accepting it. So peace and love, you guys, from Winona and the Missing Jade. Oh, yeah. Thanks for listening.